Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about gold and silver. We're going to be doing a price analysis and prediction for 2020 and beyond. I'm going to talk about the charts. We're going to compare to the two. We're also going to look at where the price will be heading in the end of 2020 and also in the years after that, because we're obviously seeing a lot of economic uncertainty, and with that comes a lot of money flowing into precious metals like gold and silver. This is nothing new. This has been going on for centuries, and the pattern repeats itself. So if you look at cryptos and stock, a lot of red, and that's not to say that we might not see some up and downs in the price of gold and silver, because we've already seen that. But in comparison, we have history on hand that shows us that gold and silver never failed. Unlike stocks that have failed at certain times, or even cryptos, gold and silver has never failed. And that is something that you can see. Both of these little charts here are over 30 years of data. And as you can see on the price of both of them, it's only been going higher. Now, yes, we've had some ups and downs here and there, but overall, we are higher than in years prior. And we're seeing two patterns that are huge on both of these charts. I've been buying gold and silver myself. I don't have that much. I have about $1,500. I plan on maybe purchasing a little bit more gold. If I'm going to purchase any precious metals, it's going to be gold. I think I've gotten enough silver for now. But indeed, gold is a little bit on the safer side. It's just more stable. That's something that we're going to talk about, but I think both are going to do well, because if we look at the charts, I'm going to go into this in more detail, but we have cup and handle formations on both of the charts. So the one on the gold chart is more formed. It is coming to fruition much sooner than the silver chart, which makes sense, because something that you have to know is that silver tends to be a bit delayed compared to gold. So if gold moves higher, it can take weeks to months for silver to reproduce that move. However, when it does happen, silver tends to have a bigger price percentage increase than gold. So it comes with a little bit more risk reward in that sense, but both tend to do well in similar fashion, with silver spiking a little bit more when that tends to happen. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual charts here, and let me explain what I'm seeing. So on the gold chart, we can see in the shorter term a very nice stable uptrend line. One thing that I should point out with gold and silver is these are global markets, right? They tend to be a little bit less affected by manipulation than stocks and even cryptos, and that is something that I think should be pointed out. We also can see much healthier price action on the gold and silver price charts. That's partly due to the free market aspect and the worldwide trading market of gold and silver, but also the fact that these are older, assets that have been around forever, and they have much more natural, healthy price action. So sometimes when the Fed is pumping money into the economy, we see stocks just going up and up and up nonstop, and guess what? We just saw a huge crash. So that is not really necessarily the case with gold and silver. They have a much more natural price action with, yes, ups and downs, but a general pattern of moving upwards over time. And we're now going to go to the weekly time frame, which is going to give us a much clearer picture of what's happening. And so every candlestick represents a week's time. Now you're going to get a very clear picture of the cup and handle formation that I was talking about. So I'm just zooming out a bit so you can see this more clearly. And I'm going to draw this out on the chart right now so you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to pull out the arc tool, and we're going to take the previous high. We're going to draw that out to actually, like I said, we are literally just about around, depending on how you want to take this. You could take this a little bit higher as such, and we may have a little bit more ways higher to go. So that would be fine as well. But the idea is that we have this cup and handle pattern that is very clearly being formed. Let me just go ahead and neaten this up just a little bit here so it'll be more clear on what I'm talking about. And for those who don't know what the cup and handle chart pattern is, I've made a video on this on my channel. Definitely go check it out. It's in my technical analysis playlist on my YouTube channel. So make sure to look at that. I talk about it in much more detail. But this is one of the strongest most accurate patterns for bullish moves higher. And they tend to take a couple months, sometimes even years to form, but they are very reliable in the sense that most of the time these patterns end up fulfilling and the price ends up moving significantly higher after that. So just a quick recap, if we look at what the cup and handle chart pattern is, we have a cup formation. Once we reach the previous high, we tend to have a pullback that's known as the handle, relatively short pullback, and then we have our final breakout that really sets the price into a whole new price range. So this is another example of that. Our initial cup formation, then that slider pullback, rounded pullback, that is the handle, and then our breakout. Also, our breakout size tends to be as big as the top of bottom of the cup. So if I actually go ahead and draw this out with the gold chart here, we're going to see exactly how much we could move higher on this breakout. So let me go ahead and estimate this right now with this technique. We're seeing a price move potential of over $800 here. So around $800 to $900 from the current price that we're at now. So I'm going to round that up to about 1,000, and that's just in line with my price prediction of gold being somewhere between $2,000 to $2,500 in the next probably year or two. Could take 2 years, 3 years, but basically very shortly. I think that we're actually going to see gold break above $2,000 within the next year, probably full year though. So count at least 12 months, but I think that we're going to see gold being very close. I think it has a very fair chance of being above $2,000 within 12 months. And for silver, we're going to look at the chart, but you're going to see very big price moves as well. And don't forget, that's just for maybe the next 1 to 3 years. We're looking at $2,500 for gold, but that's not to say that we're not going to head higher in the years coming after that. A lot of that depends on what the overall economic situation will be. If there's still a lot of fear and concern, we could see gold pushing into the $5,000 range very easily, in my opinion. I've even seen some reports of gold being able to push $15,000 in the coming years. So that would obviously be a very high-end estimate. For that to happen, there would have to be a lot of market panic, a lot of money. We're talking trillions, tens of trillions of dollars flowing into gold for that to happen. But already $2,500 to me seems somewhat guaranteed at this point, and I would expect gold to be above $2,000 very soon and to stay above $2,000. So it's going to be a whole new price range, like we've said, and putting this vertical line gives you an idea of kind of what we can expect potentially in the next 1 to 3 years for the gold chart. Now let's head over to silver and see what's happening, because like I said, silver is not necessarily as strong as gold, all things considered. That's not to bash on silver, but I actually own more silver than gold. With that being said, I am aware, and I can't lie. I do feel like gold is a little bit more stable and more predictable, etc., etc. So if I am going to be investing more into precious metals, which is a very likely possibility, probably going to be loading up on some ounces of gold instead of silver. So I have about 50 ounces of silver right now, for those who are wondering. Now, on the silver chart, it's a little bit more visible actually on the smaller chart here that I showed you, where in the past, right, over 30 years of data, we had the drop down from one of the spikes, then an extended flat period, which is the base, and then a move higher. And guess what? That is a cup and handle pattern, and that's why what I showed you before, here you'll see the cup and handle formation repeating. And that really happened in a way on the gold chart, although it was not maybe as clear as a formation. On the silver chart, we have a very clear example of a cup and handle pattern. Obviously, we pulled back from that, and now we're looking at that pattern repeating. So some could even say that this is somewhat of a handle on that first bigger cup over here. And I think that silver will be heading to $50, so that is the previous sort of all-time high, and at least on this chart of 30 years of data. And we could be really looking at a move more towards $50 to $100 an ounce for silver in the next 1 to 5 years. So I think we're going to see that spike, and that spike is going to be to $50. And from there, we could even see the price start moving between $50 and $100 into that new sort of higher price range that we're going to be looking at. Like gold moving above $2,000, I think silver can move above $50. So that's obviously going to be a much bigger percentage increase. Does come with a little bit more unpredictability, a little bit more risk, but I think everything is set up for that to happen. There is also medical benefits to silver as an actual commodity. It's used in the medical industry, so that's also something, little tidbit that you might want to be aware of there as well. So on the silver chart, same thing. We're going to draw out our pattern. Once again, you could take this on at different areas. I'm talking about the high here. You could bring this a little bit lower near that $35 mark to draw it out. It doesn't really matter. The general idea stands. We're just going to keep it more traditional and actually pull this up to the previous all-time high. And then we're going to draw down our cup formation, pull this out a little bit, because we know that on the silver chart, the patterns tend to be a little bit wider and longer as we wait for the actual price to catch up to gold oftentimes. And we're seeing the very beginning initial move higher. So we had this pullback, we flattened out a bit, we got a little bit of a double bottom there around $15, and now slowly but surely I believe we're going to start to see the price move higher, follow up along this ledge of the uptrend line, upward side of the cup pattern to re-reach $50. And I feel like you can, if I go ahead and pull this back away here, you can really just imagine this being drawn out already, right? So with that being said, this is the end of this video. Hopefully you found it useful. I will probably be making more videos on gold and silver soon. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I give a lot of live market updates and things you don't want to miss out on. So link to that in the description of this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the Technical Analysis Master Course, the ultimate guide to technical analysis. It's less than $20. You can try it risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. You've got nothing to lose by giving it a try. We've already gotten great reviews. You can check them out for yourself. And with that being said, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.